Hello world, welcome back to the Razor RC, and we've got my Traxxas XRT in front of us. I've been bashing it, breaking, fixing it, tuning it, all that good stuff. Want to share the 5 most important mods I think you should make to Traxxas XRT. I'm going to go in order from what I think is the most critical to maybe the least critical, but these are the 5 modifications I would make if you just want to get the most out of your Traxxas XRT. Obviously you can throw in like a $500 power system or do all kinds of crazy things with this thing, but just to get it to kind of drive decently out of the box, these are the things I would address first. Number 1 is definitely the wing mount here on the back. It's kind of like this bumper type thing. Mine broke basically on the first bash and I didn't even crash it, so that was a crazy thing. It just kind of flops around out of the box. There are a few different options. I'm going with the Garage Life RC. I will have a link in the description below where you can pick up any of these things. But yeah, you just want something decent there in the back to hold this wing mount on, because the stock piece, in my opinion, really just doesn't hold up, even do just normal jumps and stuff. So that would be definitely number 1. Number 2 would be to change out the pinion gear. It is a 22 Traxxas part, really cheap. A lot of people call it like monkey metal, and honestly that's kind of an insult to monkeys everywhere because even monkeys can make better pinion gears than that. Traxxas unfortunately makes really low quality pinion gears. That's throughout their entire lineup. I never use Traxxas pinions if I can help it, so I would definitely get like a Robinson's Racing or some other metal like hardened steel gear. I think you can also gear up a little bit. 1 or 2 teeth I think is totally fine unless you live in like Arizona in the desert in the summertime or something like that. You know, if it's under 100 degrees where you live, I think you could go at 1 or 2 teeth. I'm running a 21 tooth, which just gives it a little more punch, a little more speed out of the box. You know, this thing is geared fairly conservatively. You don't have to go full on high speed gearing. I think you will run, you know, high temps that way, but you know, 1 or 2 teeth I think is totally fine. So that would be number 2. Number 3 would be get it some decent tires. Stock tires on the XRT are really more like a road type compound, a road type tread pattern. They don't balloon, which is nice. They don't come unglued, which is nice, but they really have very little traction in any sort of dirt. I'm running the Duratrax 6-pack X's. You can also get the MX57s. You just want some sort of decent tire with some big lugs and stuff. If you're running in dirt, it'll give you a lot more traction. I know some people have problems with these things cracking. I have not personally. They are a cheaper option than the Badlands from Proline, but the Proline Badlands would probably be the best. I'll have links in the description below for each of those, but that would definitely be the next upgrade I would make. Number 4 would be here on the bottom. As you can see, there's a couple different modifications here. Number 4 would be to change out the stock servo. This is the stock servo, as you can see, plastic geared, kind of a weird size. The main issue with this is it does break fairly easily. As you can see, the servo is all the way on the bottom. I mean, it's the first thing that will impact the ground basically when you land big jumps. And these stock servos are just plastic. They have kind of like these ears that are supposed to hold it in place, like 3 of them, 1 in the back, 2 of them here on the side. They all broke on mine. I mean, just that repetitive crashing or jumping and landing will break the ears. Eventually this thing will fail. You will need to change it out. You could buy another Traxxas servo. I personally am not a big fan of the Traxxas servos. So basically what I got was the adapter to fit a normal size servo. So this is really more a 10 scale, 8 scale size servo. Yeah, obviously it's not going to be quite as durable and stuff as like a massive servo, but I think it will hold up. And this little adapter just allows you to mount any size servo that, you know, normal size servo that you want in here. There is a little bit of flex, which I actually think is a good thing. So it allows it to shift a little bit, and you know, it's not bolted in completely, like locked in place as like an aluminum piece. You could probably get an aluminum piece as well, but this just gives a little bit of give from those massive impacts. The other thing you want to do is change out the servo horn. So I recommend the Team Associates servo horn, like an aluminum servo horn. You do want to make sure you get the right offset so you're not dragging up against the drive shaft or anything like that. I will put a link in the description below for the piece that I am using. That just allows it to mate up to the drag link properly and get you normal steering. And then servo wise, you know, use whatever servo you want. I personally use just fairly cheap servos. This is more like a crawler size servo. It's got fairly similar specs to the stock servo. It's just a little bit quicker, but the same amount of torque. So works totally fine. It cost me like 35 bucks. So just do whatever you want. But yeah, that's what I'm running. And the 5th modifications I would make is as the other piece you can see here on the bottom. I'm running the MTC center drive shafts. This is basically like a CVA style drive shaft with a center aluminum piece. It just allows the front and rear to kind of like flex independently. That was a major problem on my Traxxas X-Maxx. I would bend the center drive shafts all the time. They just have like a aluminum hollow tube down the middle with no flex at all. And as you can see, it's like, 18 inches long or something. It does tend to actually bend. On the XRT, I don't think it's as big of a problem. For whatever reason, I think it's just maybe the chassis is a little bit stiffer or something like that, but it doesn't bend quite as easily. But it is definitely a piece you can bend if you jump it super big and do the big jumps and stuff like that. So I do have some running footage I'll share as well with all these modifications. Had no issues, nothing broke. My wheels are fine, my servo is fine, my drive shafts are fine. I did get a rock stuck here in the steering rack, which caused basically me have to end my run, but other than that, yeah, it held up totally fine. And so anyways, I hope this video helped you out. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching. Doing some big air today, and we're gonna see how this thing performs. Yeah, let's see how it drives. It's been a while since I've driven this truck, so a little bit of a brain calibration. Drives. Kick it up rocks, that's always a good sign. That's the feel of traction. Okay, that's pretty big.